Hello guys, what's up? It's Prosper again. So back to it. This is our normal weekly recap. Okay, so I'm going to be showing you guys what I did this week and the wins and losses, all the things that compounded into making this week positive this week, right? So I ended up the week again with like I ended up this week a losing week again. So I don't know. I don't know what to say. Like I don't like attaching excuses to my failures, right? So because if I'm to give excuse, I have valid excuses to give, but then I just want to own it that I did fucked up. So I'm just owning it that I fucked up. But then I'll show you guys what's happened this week and how the whole stuff went down. So I started the week trading NAS 100. So let me show you guys what happened at NAS 100. So you can see the two losses here on NAS 100. So I took four losses. This was the first loss, and this was the second loss, right? So the same thing on on SPS 500. So I only took this loss, so I did not take this trade, right? I did not take this trade, but this trade ran into profit before taking us out. Then the next trade I took, I think was on the next trade I took was on USDJPY, yeah, USDJPY. And yet again, the trade is still in profit, but then it just took me out. As you can see, it just took me out and it's already running in profit, right? So let's get into how I came up with the trade ideas. So first things first, what actually happened to me this week was, will I say, I have been writing exams, right? This month now, we have been writing exams, so I don't know how to put it, but then I realized my focus has been twisted. So the major thing that happened to me was I lost focus of my direction. My directional bias this week was whack, like very, very bad. And that was why I ended up with the amount of losses I ended up this week. Right? Like especially this NAS 100, I got everything wrong when it came to when it comes to the directional bias. But then I wouldn't want to say that I got everything wrong because I actually followed my rules, right? I actually followed my rules when it comes to getting the direction of the market. So let me show you guys what I mean. So let me show you guys what I mean. Network is bad. You guys should not mind the background noise. I'm outdoor, so I don't have to do the video. What's wrong? My network is bad. Okay. So now coming to this week, like my normal rule of finding what the markets do. Let me off this. Let me off this guys so that it won't be disturbing. So so coming to this week, so the normal way I used to determine how I go about the direction of the market is when I get a break, right? This is what I normally do. When I get a break, this is what I normally do. So I use my fib to ascertain the level, right? Or I would have like the other way around I wanted to go about this particular market is this way, right? Looking at the buy side of things. So this was what I had this week, and this was the idea I had this week, and I was now looking forward to trading towards this direction, right? Trading towards this particular direction, that is uptrend, like market pulling back to somewhere here. and then giving me that movement to the upside. So this was the bias I had, and I stick to the bias. But then, like I said, I don't know if I said something like that in the previous video. There was a level here the market was looking at selling from, but then due to the fact that I had a buy bias, right? My bias is just for the buys. So I was expecting this high, this high, yes, sorry. I was expecting this high right here to go, right? I was expecting it to go. Then market was totally was totally out for me. So when I opened my chart, I already had my bias in mind. So when I saw this guy, let me remove all of this. So when I saw this guy, I was like, okay, the market is about to take out this high, right? If you look at it very well, though it did not take it out, but are you seeing? It kind of took it out by a week, if you can see it. So I was totally convinced that the market is going to the upside. So I wasn't even thinking of anything concerning the downside of things. So that was the initial plan, and I followed the plan, right? So for me, I low key I will say that this is a win for me, but then when it comes to the reflection of on my account, it was a loss. But then for me, I was like, okay, I just followed my plan, just that the market wasn't ready to continue buying, right? So my target was taking out this high. Do you get? So that was the initial plan. That was what I did. But then market just respected this high here. You know, there is a break. There is a break here. There is another break here, right? So market just respected this high. Now, another confusion I had when it comes to this high, there was no sweep of liquidity when it comes to this high for me to even consider, okay, waiting for what market is going to do to take this guy as clearly, right? So I was just head bet on the buys. So I just followed the rules, right? Just that next time I might wait for a proper break, like a proper break of this high for me to engage, right? That's what I just noted out when I was backtesting the whole stuff. So the next time I'm actually going to wait for a stronger break, right, to confirm. But most of the times, market just if market gives that week out like that, is already ready for whatever it is about to do, right? So I just use that experience to to engage in this buy, right? Now when market sold off, I have already backed the loss. So when market sold off, like, man, I was still convinced on the buys. I was still convinced on the buy, and this guy was just was just setting me up, giving me the buy setup, just giving me the buy setup, and I was hell bent on buying, right? So network, abeg, network, abeg, abeg, abeg. Yeah, all wrong, man. Okay, so the second day, when I came up the second day, I was like, okay, market is still ready to buy, right? This was what my mind was telling me, like, market is still ready to buy since it just dropped from there. So I don't know, I was just stubborn when it comes to this buy. So market gave me my another setup, swept this low, gave me liquidity, just a very good setup. So I was like, even if market does not want to continue buying, at least this setup is a high probability setup for me, because most of the times is a reversal setup that works, right? That works for me. Was that what I did? Yeah, I think so. So I placed the buy again, targeting this high, so that even if the market wants to continue selling up, at least I can get that push. At least I can get that push. That was the plan. I heard that stop loss was very tight. The way I did it, because it was a 6 hour trade, yes, exactly. So this was the plan, and the market just took me out. This is the fact that the bias of the market has already changed. So that was what I did not realize on time. So the bias of the market has already changed, and it just sold off, right? It just sold off and continued selling. So I wasn't able to catch any other trade, but I think there was another trade setup here that I didn't see. I think either this downside or here that I wasn't aware of. Maybe I was busy that time writing exam or something. Well, that was that for NAS 100, right? So the lesson there is that most of the times your directional bias is what is going to be determining if you are going to if you are going to come out from that particular trend profitable or not, because each trend is an opportunity for you to make money, right? So if you are in the wrong side of the trend, you are going to be doing like any setup you are going to be getting, unless you are lucky as at that time, that's when you are likely going to make profit. But for the fact that, that trend is, you are like, for the fact that you're on the right side, wrong side of that trend, you are going to end up losing. And you can see a very good example of that. I was just on the wrong side of things, and I kept on bagging those losses, right? So this was what happened on NAS 100, and on SPS 500. The same thing. Remember, the two of them are moving hand in hand, just different, like slight difference in price action, but their directional bias is the same. Now, why is network doing me like this now? Ah, okay, the guy is up. So the same the same process, right? The same process. This one, even I will say this is even one of the guys that gave me the confidence to even go for that buy. So the highs have been taken out, right? This is the rule. The highs have been taken out, and from this side to, so we are looking out for buys because we are in an uptrend, right? So now I scale down to the 4 hour. I scale down to the 4 hour. So when these guys swept these guys, my liquidity, right? When this guy was swept, so I was like, okay, since NAS 100 has already mitigated another block, so this guy is also ready to start buying. So that was the plan. So I scaled down again to 1 hour to look for entry. So this guy gave me the entry. So these guys already swept this high, right? So it has already swept this high. I was like, okay, market is already ready to keep on buying because we are still in an uptrend, right? It has tested at least our buy zone, this particular area. It has tested our buy zone and is ready to buy. So that was the plan, right? And since this strong high, there is a strong high here. There's a strong high here. This guy sub liquidity. So since this strong high has been violated, so I was very, very confident on the buy. Like if you see the way I happily rushed and placed the trade when I saw this guy. I was very, very confident about the trade, right? So this one, like all the criteria was met. All the criteria was met. Just that the market wasn't ready to buy yet, right? Wasn't ready to buy yet. It has another thing on mind in mind. Sorry. So that was the trade. I just confidently took my buy, and the projection I was projecting was for it to make a new high. Right, that was the projection. I was projecting that the market is going to make a new high. I think I was targeting maybe 550 or so. Sorry, 7,050. Yeah, 7,050. That was what I was targeting because it was a 6 hour trade. Yes. So this was what the trade idea, and this happened. I was like, okay, but then I I was like, okay, since market has taken out this high, that same rule from that high to this high, So and it has already tested another. Let me delete this guy. It has also tested our another buy zone here and provided that setup. If you go to the 5 minutes, that's where you see it very clearly. Like it was just something I just very simple, something I just guessed to. And so I have my sweep. I have my sweep, whichever one you call it. There was a sweep here, right? There was a sweep there. Was it that? Sorry, that was not the sweep. There was a sweep in between here. Mm. So this was the guy I took, and there was the liquidity. Look, I think why I did not even engage in this guy was due to the fact that there was no clear sweep here. I think that was the case. Yeah, because I had the reason not to take this guy. Yeah, that was the case. I think so. There was no clear sweep there, so I had to leave this one and go for the other one. And my target was there. Yes, 6R. That was the target. This was the plan to continue these buys. But the market has changed intentions. But it gave us that movement, right? So as when I took this guy, it could have been a break-even trade. But it gave us that intention to the upside before now changing the bias totally. So I wasn't able to catch any other trade here because there was no other opportunities that was presented for me to take, right? There was no other opportunity presented for me to take. So I was also looking at this. Oh, network. No, this video go long. No, pass. You don't pass 10 minutes. Okay, I'll stop video. Okay. So I was also looking at this level to see if I can get my bias, but this guy was violated. So there was nothing else to do here. So next week, I think I'll be sell like my bias for next week is going to be sell since this guy has been violated, and I'll be looking out for sales. Right. If market gives me a reason to start selling, I will start selling. That's the plan. So USD JPY. USD JPY. So USD JPY, like initially I had a sales bias, right? Because judging from the higher time frame has taken out a major low here. Though there is no liquidity on this leg, but then I'm still looking out for sales. If market start giving me reasons to sell, right? To sell. But then for now, market is still bullish as you can see. It's just rallying to the upside. So how I got into this trade, how I got this trade was okay, since market is still bullish, right? Market is still bullish. So I was looking at a particular level. So I was looking at this level as a liquidity point in the market, because if you look at this guy, you can see that this is a strong guy and this is liquidity. So I'm looking at, okay, since market is still bullish, so is likely coming for this liquidity before looking at for next thing is going to do. So that was the plan. And then this zone, there was a strong glow here. If you can see, I marked it out. There was a strong glow there. So and this was liquidity here. So I was like, okay, since the market is still since I'm looking out for sales, right? And market has tapped my sell zone. If you check it very well, you see that market is already in our sell zone. So you can see the market is already in the sell zone, right? So I was like, okay, I'm going to wait for a confirmation before taking this buy. So the first zone was this. I think, yeah, this was the zone for the buys, right? I think 30 minutes is going to be a bit clearer. How many times did you like this one? So yes, I think this was the zone. Yeah, that was the other block for the mitigation, right? Now market just tapped it and gave us a reason to continue buying. Look at that break. Look at that. That was a sweep there. So look at that. That complete cycle of our entry. Like the entry model has already presented itself. So I had to put in my trade. But then yeah, this was the setup. Yeah. I protected this low. I didn't give enough room for the stop loss. Assuming I gave enough room, there are possibilities that this guy is going to just take me out. So this was the trade. And I was not targeting that liquidity point, right? Yeah, this was the trade. And market just took me out and is already buying. So he's already buying. So for me, I think two things is involved. Since this guy was taking out, there are possibilities that market is still going to hold from here to sell off from here, right? There are possibilities that market is going to sell off from here. But then whatever the plan is going to be, I'm just waiting for markets to reach at least a very to reach to this premium zone before even engaging in any sales. Or unless I get a very strong break to the downside, right? A very strong break to the downside and a reason to start selling. Then I will now engage in the sales. So that was what I did on UJ. As you can see, there was no other opportunity presented here. Only that guy that was presented. Now on USDCHF and UJ, sorry, on GJ, there was no opportunity presented for me to engage in. So I didn't do anything there. So I was just waiting for my buyers to show me reasons to start doing something. So as you can see, market was just ranging around this area, right? So just ranging around this area throughout the week. I want to on this so you see the week. Yeah, it started from here, so you can see throughout the week it was just ranging. It wasn't in any direction, right? So the same thing on GJ. I was looking out for sales, but market has already taken out the last high here, has already broken a new structure. So at this point, I'm also looking out for buys, right? I'm just waiting for to see what the market is about to do. So it is what it is. I didn't get anything to work with here. So I was just waiting. I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting. So that'll be all, guys. That'll be all, guys. I just hope that next week, this week that you're entering is going to present us with opportunities that we can make something out of it, right? So that'll be all for now. See you guys in the next video.